Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review of Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 2. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you get anything out of the content. And plus, I got reviews for everybody. Whatever you in the mood for, whether it's Married at First Sight, a little bit of ratchet reality, whatever, pick your poison. Honey, I got something to choose from. Just check the playlist. Now let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, we start off with Jasmina and Michael. It is wedding day. So Jasmina's girls come in to wake up Sleeping Beauty, and she said, she feels like she's had the worst luck when it comes to men, and she wants someone because she's tired of playing games. She wants to be the first example of true love for her younger sisters. So Michael is over on the other side, and he's saying he's willing to take the risk for love, and he's talking to his two friends about how he needs to be different and be a different Michael and be ready to be vulnerable. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jasmina getting that natural beat, and her sister is talking to her, and she's like, so what are your expectations, for your husband? She was like, well, I just want him to be able to keep me happy because I know I'm going to want to keep him happy. She said in her past relationships, she felt like a test dummy. I've been there, sis, child. A full-on crash dummy. Do you hear me? Moving forward. In the next scene, Michael's beautiful sisters, they come in and they join him in the suite, and his brother asked how he thought his mom would feel had she been there. And so Michael starts getting emotional, and he said, I just feel like she would think that I'm doing the best thing for me. So then his brother presents him with this breast cancer pin in honor of his mom, and he pins it on him. Let me tell y'all something. That really touched me. When I tell y'all a tear fell ever so, I said, baby, not the pink pin. Okay, this is too much. From the loving sisters to the pink pen, from the brother, the mom and the dad raised these children right. I have to say that. This family is close knit, and I love everything about it. So they all gathered hands, and then the tears started to fall from Michael's face. He started to get real emotional, but his friend Ye was like, it's going to be all right, bro. It's going to be all right. So he was really emotional that his mom won't be able to see him walk down the aisle, but she's there in spirit. Michael's family is everything. Do y'all hear me? Everything. Child, I could do a spinoff with just the sisters and the brother. Moving forward. Meanwhile, Jasmina is freaking out, child. Her nerves is getting bad. Her nerves taking over, and she hopes that she's attracted to the person and they treat her right. So she was like, man, I was talking all that stuff, and now I feel sick to my stomach. Girl, that's nerves, honey. That's perfectly natural. Like, even after knowing the man that I was marrying, I still wanted to turn and walk away. I still wanted to throw up. I still did not want them doors to open. I still did not want to walk out giving all my zhuzh because my nerves were bad. That's just what happens when you get married. Now, I know everybody was like, well, she signed up for it. Baby, you sign up for a regular engagement to be married, and your nerves still kick in. Like, if you ain't got no nerves and you just walking down with just a smile on your face like Katina did, then child, set yourself off. Moving forward. So they're trying to talk to her, but honey, she's trying to keep from upchucking, and she's like, leave me alone for just a second. I don't know him. I don't know his name. I don't know nothing about him. So then her beautiful mom, Kimberly, walks in, and she starts crying, and she's like, are you nervous? Mama, of course she's nervous, child. Her nerves are shot. Mine would be too, especially letting the experts take over. And hey, Mom, sorry I was a little bit rude. Meanwhile, on the other side, Michael is taking his post, and the producer is like, Jasmina, it's time. Child, Jasmina was looking like, oh my God. I was like, ooh, honey, somebody hold her up, child. Somebody get one of them Martin Luther King fans and start fanning Jasmina. Child, her nerves is shot. She said, listen, I'm just going to keep it real. I'm praying this man is what I asked for. I know that's right, girl. Like, just keep it real, honey. I am just praying that they ain't playing my face. But child, let's see. So then they asked for them all to stand, right? Because, here comes the bride, all dressed in white. She's coming. And out walks Jasmina, child. She's finally gotten her nerves together to make it down the aisle. Because y'all was touch and go there for a minute. So she walks down the aisle holding her chosen mom's hand. And here go Michael. Wow. Baby, he was not expecting such a knockout. Wow is a mood in itself. I know that's right. Wow. Baby, he was over there blinking 3 or 4 times and just blinking and thinking, trying to figure out how he got so lucky. I know that's real. So they introduced themselves and she's like, so you come here often? I'm like, oh, she got a little sense of humor. So the officiant starts to read what the family said about each of them. The officiant said, he's the baby of a Haitian family and he's spoiled by his sisters. His sisters in the audience looking like, and we ready to ride at it any given moment behind ours. Baby, them sisters ready to ride out. So Jasmina, don't get fresh, honey. Don't do nothing you ain't supposed to do, because he got a whole clan over on the other side. So then they read their vows. So Jasmina has a little sense of humor about her, and I loved it. A pretty girl with a sense of humor? Baby, I love to see it. Shout out to me. So then Michael reads his vows, and their vows were very special. I really appreciated the fact that they took the time to write their vows, Olajuwon. Okay? But we're going to get to that as we get into it. So then the officiant said, take her hand and repeat these words. Then by the power vested in him, he pronounced them husband and wife. He said, you may now kiss your bride. Baby, Michael was ready for that. Honey, he was ready for that. Then he put down the symbolic broom where they leave behind the past and jump into the future. Child, Michael jumped over the broom like Jordan. Y'all hear me? I said, baby, Michael got hops. Honey, he had to get up off that ground because, see, he was really kind of eye level with that broom. So, therefore, and thus and such, he had to get up off his feet. I was like, look at Michael, honey. Ooh, child, I hope he don't bring Jasmina down while he's jumping over that broom. So, when they got ready to walk down, he said, you got to strut. You got to strut. Child, you couldn't tell little man nothing. Baby, you better be proud of your bride. You better be proud of your bride. Michael was walking through there like, I be feeling like the man when I walk through. I know you do. I know you do now that you done seen Jasmina. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I loved seeing how proud he was to have her on his arm. It was everything. But y'all, I'm not getting invested in this right now because I need to get to the honeymoon and the shared apartment. And then I will formulate my opinion. Moving forward. In the next scene, Lindsay and Mark are going to take their pictures, right? And they're talking about when they applied. Well, child, Mark is an alumni at this point. But Lindsay says she applied on Valentine's Day because she was dating this jerk that was an older man and she was tired of it. And she's like, I really like Mark. I think he's genuine. I think he's kind. The only thing that I'm concerned about are the cats. Ugh. Oh, Lord. So they get to where they're going to take their pictures, right? So Lindsay talking about, because her friend was like, you got on your sneakers already? She was like, yeah, girl, I'm taking off layer by layer. I'm not going to have any underwear on later. Reel it in, Lindsay. Like, you're an overshare. An absolute overshare. Mark was like, my wife is a wild card, but I like it. Lindsay needs some decorum. That's not cute, Mark. The shark. Okay, it's not cute. It can read trashy a little. Like, save it. Oh, child. So he's like, I like it. Maybe she can show me some new things and maybe I can show her some new things. You're not going to be able to show her a thing, Mark. Okay? Not nothing. But she is going to take you for a wild ride, honey. So buckle up. Well, we know Mark is straight-laced because, he don't even cuss and whatnot. But I hope he's not going to be a pushover because Lindsay seems like she can push you over just a little bit. All these women do if we really want to be real. Because I was peeping the energy between the couples and some of the things that they were saying. And I'm like, oh, child, these men don't stand a chance. So then Lindsay introduces Mark to her dad and her brother. And just then it hit me. Mark is an only child. His dad's deceased. And his mom is unable to attend. That is so sad. I really hate that for him. Like he had absolutely no one there for him. So then her daddy gonna say, you ever go gator hunting? He said, no. He said, well, you have now. I was like, oh my God. I said, okay, Lindsay get that personality from her daddy, honey. That's why she act the way she does. So Lindsay sees this lady, right? She saw a lady and then she goes, is that your mom? The one in the blue? He said, no, that's my landlord. She said, oh, okay. He said, well, she's like a mom. I was like, ooh, awkward. Lindsay, don't you think he would have introduced you if his mom were there? Girl, ugh. So then they both realized that their mom is like a sore spot. She was like, is that a difficult subject? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, for me too. I think they may be okay once Lindsay sobers up. Her personality mixed with vodka and Red Bull is just too much. It's explosive. It's giving way too much. I think Mark may be able to calm her down just a little bit. We've matched them because Mark will be the calm to Lindsay's storm. He will be the Red Bull to her vodka. Child, I had to do it, honey. That's how they match them. Jasmina and Michael. They go to sit down to talk, and as they're walking, he's holding her dress the entire time. She's like, thank you for holding my dress. And I really like that. But with so many sisters, honey, he know he got to do the little things, honey. He knows better. He grew up with a bunch of women, so he knows how to be a gentleman. And I appreciated that. I'm like, look at him holding that dress without being prompted. Okay, moving forward. So they're sitting down, they're getting acquainted, and she's talking to the camera, and she's like, I just think I had some nerves at first because I just didn't know who was on the other side. But, we good now. We Gucci now. Child, no comment on her first impression, though, and you ain't fooling me. I peeped that you didn't say nothing about it. And you know what else I noticed? Nobody exchanged gifts prior to them getting married. On seasons past, they always give each other a gift. But y'all, this season, they was like, y'all, push them on out there and let's get this over with. Y'all know that's right, y'all. So Michael is like, my wife is beautiful. This is what he's saying in his confessional. He's like, she's like a black Barbie. She's perfect. Definitely my type. I'm sure she is. She probably everybody's type. The way you strutted out of that wedding like George Jefferson. I was like, look at him. And you're little just like him. So he's so proud to have a baddie like Jasmina. So they sit down and take a sip of champagne. Child, and Michael just took his sip. She said, now that's crazy. You weren't going to do no toast or nothing? I'm like, I know that's right, girl. Get them together. Get them together. She said, you better put that swig back. He said, oh, okay. Baby said, yeah, I think this might work. She don't seem like she just all in. But, child, he needs somebody that's going to get him together. So then there's this awkward silence. And then they do a toast. And so then Michael tells her, okay, so listen. So I was trying to guess your name, right? And I guessed Melissa. But then I shortened it to Mimi. And your name's Jasmina, so I was kind of right. She was like, no, you were wrong. Oh, he's saying any old thing to cut the awkward silence, because, child. I was like, not you going to tell the lady the name you made up for her. Ooh, honey, they saying anything. So he's like, so what are your sleep habits? She said, well, I wake up around 6 because my body just naturally wakes me up. She said, but I go to bed around 2. He said, oh, okay, well, I'm a grandpa. I go to bed around 8 or 9. She's like, well, yeah, I'm just laying there watching Korean dramas. And he's like, what is that? She said, like dramas, but just with Korean people. He said, oh, okay. He said, well, I'm in bed by that time. She said, no, I'm in bed. I'm just watching TV. Yeah, I know that's right. Same, sis, same. And that's why I don't know if I really just want to put somebody in my mix. Because I like to lay down and I like to watch my shows. And then, people be like, I had to sleep in the dark. So they don't want the TV on while they sleeping. And then, oh, child, it's just too much. She said, what do you watch? He said, nothing really. She said, you don't watch TV at all? He said, no, I don't. Oh, okay, red flag. Red flag. I don't trust not nobody that don't watch TV. Honey, I said what I said and I ain't changing it. And just you watching reviews or YouTube is the same as you watching TV. But somebody that's just existing in the world, never watching any type of entertainment, I'm like, honey, because I'm going to need a TV buddy as my mate. Like, we're supposed to watch shows together. And I'm supposed to get mad when you watch an episode before me because I'm at work late. And then I got to take the kids and pick them up from t-ball practice and ballet. And I'm pissed at you because you watched the next episode without me. That's the kind of marriage that I want. Okay? So you got to watch TV. Like, child. And when he said he didn't watch nothing, I was like, I bet you watched this show once you got chosen and you ain't fooling me. She was like, you don't go to the movies either? He said, yeah, well, I go to the movies. She said, you don't like Marvel? Child, fast forward to decision day, child, because that's it. Honey, I hope Michael don't be too boring because, you don't watch TV. You go to bed at 8 o'clock. I don't know. Maybe she can get him interested in her shows, and maybe because he loves her, he'll start watching them. But for right now, honey, no Marvel, no movies, no television. It's giving 3 strikes, you're out. But we'll see. Moving forward. So they're walking into this room where all of their families are, right? And he's like, oh, my family sounds loud. And she was like, it might be my family because they loud too. So they walk in. And Ye, who is his friend, walks up like Michael hit the jackpot. And he's like, oh, my God, bring it in. I'm a hugger. Bring it in. I'm like, Jasmina was looking at him like, why is he touching me? Honey, he was too much. Ye more stoked than Michael. He was so excited, child. He was like, see, this is what happiness looks like. Not too soon, okay? They've known each other for all of 5 minutes. Let's give it a minute. We don't know if this is what happiness looks like. See, we get overzealous, and then when it hits the fan, then we be looking like, I didn't know. Well, you didn't give it a chance. Like, give it a minute. You definitely got the right name, though, because you jumped up on that stage just like Kanye West did Taylor Swift. So, I definitely know you got the right name. So they go outside to take pictures. Baby, and Michael getting real comfortable. Do you hear me, baby? He put that hand and placed that hand ever so around her waist. She was like, he trying to touch my butt. You see him? He trying to touch my butt. So then he asked her where she thought the honeymoon is going to be. She said, I think it's going to be Mexico. You know, I feel like they always go to Mexico. And he said, what about Jamaica? She was like, I hope not. I'm going there for my 30th birthday. You coming? Energy. Do y'all hear me? That is energy. She was putting him on notice. Are you going to make it past decision day? Okay. Will you be with me this time next year? Because, baby, I'm going to Jamaica, man. I'm going to visit my daddy, and I'm going to have me a good time for my 30th birthday. Will you be there or will you not? He said, well, dang. I mean, if all goes well. Moving forward. Lindsay and Mark. So, you know, they're talking to Lindsay and everything. She's like, I'm extremely attracted to my husband. I'm extremely attracted to Mark the shark. Well, alrighty then. She's like, yeah. So the production is like, are you ready to get close? She said, heck yeah, I'm ready to see what he's got. Child, she ready for anything at this point. Any old thing. But you know what I did appreciate about Lindsay is she's not superficial, because she did say, I don't care what they look like. I just want them to be a good person. And I wholeheartedly believe that coming from her when she said that. And she said she's attracted to Mark. So, baby, all the naysayers that were looking at his shocked eyes, be shocked that she's attracted to him. Moving forward. So they share their first dance and they're talking a little bit. And they both decided they wanted to live to 100. I'm like, Joe, what is happening? Apparently, according to Lindsay, if you live to 100, you get your face on a jam jar. Oh, Lindsay, let's continue. Jasmina and Michael. Back over here with them, they're at the reception and they share their first dance. And Michael was like, she doesn't really feel like a stranger. I mean, just looking at her face, it's her beautiful smile. That's what draws me in. I don't feel like she's a stranger, so I won't be addressing her as such. So then he goes, so what was your first thought as you was walking out? She was like, you know, I was nervous, but I said, I'm gonna put my big girl panties on, and I came on out. So they asked her in her little interview, they said, are you feeling a spark? She was like, like this much, like a little bitty spark, but it's because, you know, we really don't know each other and we really haven't had a chance to talk. Girl, I call bull. Okay. Like, you can have a spark with someone without talking to them for 40 days and 40 nights. Okay. It's, I know you were trying to be nice. Like, I know it's the adrenaline of the day and the happiness of the day, but I don't feel like she's all the way in. She don't really just like him like that. She's about as excited for Michael as we are about this panini, honey, and that's that on that. She might grow to feel the spark, but it's giving BFF right now. It's giving very much roommate. Moving forward. And another thing, I don't think she would ever have talked to Michael outside of being set up by Married at First Sight. That's just my assessment. That's just my opinion. Now, y'all might think something differently, but I don't think she was too sold. 5 days until the wedding day. Katina and Olajuwon. So she's going to pick out her wedding dress in this heavy wig. Girl. So Olajuwon is on the other side saying he has the jitters, but he's confident in what they're going to have for him. So they were like, well, you know this means no more Isaac, right? This is his family talking to him. Child, Isaac is still very much present and accounted for. I don't want to hear nothing else about it, okay? I told y'all I'm going to call him Isaac until he presents himself as Olajuwon. He's like, yeah, well, you know, I'm a catch. Meanwhile, Katina's on the other side and she tries on her first dress and it was okay. And she was like, you know, I'm really ready to get married because I'm 30 and my ovaries are calling, you know, so I'm just ready. So then she tries on dress number 2. It was more black tie, less wedding. That was just to me. So back over with Isaac, because y'all know that's what I'm going to call him. His mama call him Isaac. I'm going to call him Isaac. Back over here with Isaac, he got this basic suit on, dancing around like one of the Temptations. I'm like, oh, child, he going to be showboating the entire 8 weeks. Oh my gosh. So his family is like, well, do you think you'll take your wife's breath away? He's like, I know I am. I almost took mine away. Sir, pipe down. It's giving Chris energy. It's giving big season 12 energy. I really think, remember when Chris said he had them big arms and that big chest and he really had a bird chest and bird legs to match? That's what's happening right here. I really think Olajuwon is masking his insecurities because this is all a facade. This is smoke and mirrors. This is fake it till you make it. And he ain't fooling me. I see right through it. That little faux hawk, the alter ego, all the talking, giving yourself all the zhuzh. Those are your insecurities. I'm just saying. Moving forward. Katina comes out in dress number 3, and it's the winner. And I was just thinking, why does it always have to be dress number 3? Have you noticed that? Every time they choose a dress, it's always dress number 3. So anywho, she said, if I could tell my future husband something, I would tell him that I'm going to be the best wife ever. If you were going to tell your future husband something, you need to tell him to stop talking in third person and referring to himself as his middle name so that he can go out and act a fool. Moving forward. Olajuwon finds his suit, and like I said, he's very cocky. He's like, ooh, my wife gonna love me. So then his sister-in-law was like, are there any doubts? He said, nah, I'm committed. She said, committed. So no doubts. She's like, lifetime. Child, he just looking. The only lifetime he ready for is the network this show is on, child. I'm not convinced yet. Moving forward. Noey and Steve. So she's looking for her dress, same bridal store, same bridal channel. Steve on his way to get his tux, and he's like, I'm an adventurous person. I just came back from a 4-month voyage, and now I'm taking another risk, which is married at first sight. Child, Steve just be doing whatever. He finds whatever to sign up for, and he lands wherever the wind blows. So Dr. Viviana said, Steve is a free spirit, but starting a family is his number one priority. Girl, getting a job should be his number one priority, but okay, sis, set yourself off. So Noe tries on her first dress. The first one is stunning, and her family and friends are like, I'm ready for her to be pregnant like yesterday. Where they gonna set up the crib, sis? Where they gonna put the car seats? Oh, they got a car. So the crib and the car seat are gonna be interchangeable. Girl, she don't need to be having no baby with jobless Steve. Moving forward. Back over at the tux shop, Steve finds his tux. Meanwhile, Noe is trying on her second dress. It's equally as beautiful. And she said, I just trust the experts so much, and I really trust this process. I know that they're going to find me my person. Girl, not you trusting the experts. Oh, poor little Noe. Josh, you need to start a group text with the ladies from last season and the season before that so she can get some insider information. They gave you Steve, who although seems like a cool guy, he isn't sure where you will sleep after the shared apartment. Steve, I'm speaking directly to you. You have 8 weeks. 8 weeks to be employed. What you gonna do every day in the shared apartment? I can't wait to see this. 4 days until the wedding. Alyssa and Chris. Let me tell y'all something. These are my confessions. When I tell y'all, shout out to Usher, I felt just like Lindsay. I had totally forgotten about Alyssa. I was like, who is this? Oh, child, honey, it's giving boring, honey. It's giving snooze fest. So she's looking for her dress, and her friends are with her. And she's like, yeah, I purchased 10 other wedding dresses just in case I don't like anything. Okay, she gonna be a problem. Child, we thought Mirla was something. I don't think she got nothing on Alyssa. We misjudged Mirla a little bit, honey. I mean, this right here, this is insane. So you'll marry a stranger sight unseen, but the dress is a non-negotiable even though you're there to try on the dresses. And are the dresses 2 for 1? Because you bought 10 of them. Really, girl? It's giving fire sale. And honey, that's just me. So on the other side, Chris is choosing his tux, and he's like, I'm sick of being lonely. So child, he said he's sick of being lonely, so that's why he want to get married. Oh my God. Sir, what are you talking about? Marriage is serious. Not just because you're lonely and you want someone else to sleep on the other side of the bed. Marriage is a serious thing. You don't just get married because you're free on Tuesday. Okay. Oh, child. Okay, let's just continue. He wants her to look at him down the aisle and think that he has his stuff together when she sees how clean he is. So Dr. Viviana said, we match them because of their interesting hobbies. Okay. Okay, it's official. They are matching people based on if they're both breathing air. They like oxygen, and they'll be able to keep each other alive. This is some tomfoolery. Oh, child. Moving forward. So she tries on one dress. She liked it, but she wants some a little country and a little bit rock and roll. She's like, I just want him to be a little country. So child, she got on these gold boots. I was like, girl, I hope you're not wearing them boots down the aisle. She was like, I want country and a little bit of glam. To me, I don't think it would matter if he were Tim McGraw. She is not going to be happy with him. She bought 10 wedding dresses. So she will not be attracted to Mr. Disc Golf. I'm just saying she will not be attracted to him. On the other side, Chris is like, I could care less about the color and whatever's going on, but I care more about the fit. Chris seems a little neurotic. He said, if something happens and we're not compatible, I can't control who she is. But he's like, if she doesn't like me, then I know it's something that I need to change and I need to grow because I can control me. So his friend said, you can't just go into this posing. Oh, friend, first of all, you're absolutely right. Chris may have low self-esteem. Christopher, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. Do not change just to be who you think Alyssa and her 10 wedding gowns and her flat hair wants you to be. Okay? Be who you are. Like, someone's going to love you for who you are. Now, if it's something that needs to be changed and there's an area for growth, then please do that. But not if she comes to you and says, I don't like the way you chew. So now you're practicing chewing a different way. Like, no, we ain't going to be able to do that. Child, please. I hope Alyssa isn't mean to him. So she tries on dress number 2 and 3 over on her side. And of course, you guessed it, number 3 is the winner. Moving forward. She's like, I just hope that I'm attracted to him. Like, I think attraction can grow, but there has to be like an initial attraction. Chris is doomed. He's doomed. She is not going to be satisfied with him. She bought 10 wedding dresses, for Pete's sakes. She seems hard to please, and he seems like a people pleaser. Anything just to be with somebody. This is going to be a disaster. Katina and Olajuwon. It is a wedding day. It's their wedding day, and Katina said, that she's dated a lot of people in the past, so she's going to put her faith in 3 strangers to hook her up with another stranger. Girl, you would have done better getting a quick pick lottery ticket. The odds are better. I'm just saying. Over here with Olajuwon, we are still talking about Isaac. Oh my God. All Olajuwon cares about is me, myself, and I. That's all I got in the end. That's what I found out. Shout out to Beyonce. Oh, child, this is too much. All he cares about is him and Isaac, even though they're the same person. This is insane. Olajuwon, you are not Beyonce and Sasha Fierce. We will see if Isaac is dead, because right now I'm not buying nothing you saying. Moving forward. So his brother is like, well, I hope it's good because, he's all excited and I don't know if he's really going to get what he wants to get. I'm just hoping that it's good. Translation, I hope she's pretty. Over with Katina, her mom fears that she won't like him as much as he likes her. Mom, your fear may be right. Back with Olajuwon, he crying on his friend's shoulders. I'm like, oh, child, I am getting a flashback of Zach and his bucket of tears. Suck it up, Buttercup. So he's crying and whatnot, and his friend gives him a great pep talk. I did feel like that was very sweet of the friend. I was like, that's a good friend. He let Isaac, cry on his shoulder, and, he lifted him up. I did appreciate that. I'm like, okay, good looking out, friend. So he's crying, but quiet as it's kept, I feel like he's crying because Isaac can't get married today, only Olajuwon. The nerves are setting in. So he's like, today is going to be electric. I'm marrying the love of my life. Sir, you don't know the lady. You don't know her. You'll just be saying anything. I'm convinced. You really do not process what you say before it comes out of your mouth. Ciao. So it's time for the wedding. So he's trying to convince himself he's a good guy and whatnot. He's like, I'm done with the dating apps. I'm ready for my forever. Okay. Once I heard dating app, I knew it was going to be some foolishness. All that swiping left and swiping right. Shout out to season 13. We already know where the dating apps lead you. Back to the dating app. Moving forward. So they ask everyone to please rise. Olajuwon is in place. And he's like, my biggest fear is her not liking what she sees or, me having messed with someone that she knows. You were that big of a garden too? Like you were out there that bad. How big is Boston? Child, I'm gonna have to get on the Googler and see how big Boston is. So he's standing there looking nervous and he's like, where is she? Where is she? The men this season got some beautiful matches. The women this season, they got someone of the opposite sex. Moving forward. Everyone's looking and then Katina emerges and she looks stunning. Wig looked a little bit thinned out. I was like, okay, girl, thin that wig out, okay. So when she came out, he was like, wow. But it didn't give me that same oomph that it did when Michael hit Jasmina with a wow. It was something else to it. I was like, wow, okay, boy. Anywho, so she gets down the aisle. He's like, you're beautiful. She said, oh, thank you. What's your name? He said, Olajuwon. She said, Olajuwon. Okay. Girl, like Akeem Olajuwon. She's like, what's your name? She said, Katina. He's like, I won't forget it. I hope not. What is happening? What is happening? So he's just staring at her, right? Just looking at her, admiring all things Katina. He's like, I can't stop staring at you. You're beautiful. She's like, oh, thank you. He said, so you ain't gonna say nothing about me? I mean, you don't like how I'm looking? I mean, you ain't say nothing. When I tell you I hollered, she was like, I'm just nervous. Child, she probably looking at that mohawk. That's what it is. So then he notices her tattoos, and she was like, yeah, you got tattoos? He was like, yeah, I got tattoos. I'm like, are y'all really gonna stand here and talk? Child, this cat's gonna make small talk at the altar if they don't do nothing else. So then the officiant starts to read what the families feel about each one of them. And the officiant is like, you're marrying Olajuwon, but we call him Tootie. Not Tootie. Not to be confused with the Facts of Life Tootie that was played by Kim Fields. Oh, no, ma'am. That could have stayed in the vault, honey. Ooh, honey, not Tootie. Honey, this is a mess. So anywho, he's reading them off. And baby, they said something about Olajuwon wants a woman that can cook, and hopefully she knows her way around the kitchen. And if she does not, hopefully she is a fast learner. Baby, she looked around and started skinning and grinning like, I make Pop-Tarts. Honey, she was looking like all she know how to make is Pop-Tarts. So then he gonna look at her. He gonna say, we'll get it together. Don't worry about it. We'll get it together. Oh, okay, now y'all will get it together because she's pretty. But when you didn't know how she was looking, a wife ain't a wife unless she know how to cook. Boy, shut up. Moving forward. So then they said their vows, and he grabbed her hand, and he was like, I didn't write mine down. I'm just going to speak from the heart. So child, then he said he is off the dome. Then they exchanged rings. He got down on one knee. I was like, okay. He was like, will you marry me? She was like, I just did. I'm like, it's giving cringe fest, and it felt like game to me. It was super performative. I did not buy it. I was like, boy, get up. Get up. It's not giving what you thinking it's giving. It's not giving what's supposed to be gave. Please, up, 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 up. Okay, you're up. Great. I was like, this right here is just no. Okay. It's just no. So then him and Katina look at each other, and they pronounce them husband and Katina. And then they went to the side to talk. So child, this is where it gets good. So she does her little interview, and she's like, I'm somebody's wife. Okay, let me see what his name is. Okay, let me see. Olajuwon. Okay, I think I got it. Oh my God. Hooked on phonics works for me. Girl, Olajuwon. It is 4 syllables. Child, that name is not that hard to pronounce. She really don't know how to say this man's name. It's going to be a long 8 weeks, child, between her and that heavy wig. Heavy is the head that wears the wig. Oh, child. Between her and this heavy wig and not knowing how to pronounce Olajuwon's name. Oh, but she's so pretty, though. Oh, Katina, it's going to be a fool. Moving forward. He, on the other hand, he is over the moon. He's like, I just keep looking at you. So, child, she just standing there smiling. Talking about, oh, oh. He said, wow. She said, oh, wow. He's like, I want to ask for another kiss, but I don't, can I have one? She's like, sure. So then they lean in and kiss. I'm like, this is awkward as hell. Like, what is happening? She doesn't know what to do with Isaac because Isaac is a little bit too much, and he starts spitting out all these promises. I'm like, boy, please. He's like, I promise to treat you right. I promise to always show up. I promise to never drop the ball. I promise to do this, that, and the third. Don't make all these promises. Just show and prove. Okay? I know you're continuing to repeat it so that it becomes so. But Isaac, just continue to do the right thing so that you can prove all of us wrong. Okay. And I actually see all of this talking as him asking his insecurities as well, because he acted like he had never seen a pretty girl before. And I'm like, boy, what is wrong with you? Meanwhile, she just looking. I don't know if she's in shock or what, but she was just standing there smiling. I don't know what it was, but it was giving return to sender. Child, because she seemed completely unimpressed. Noey and Steve. Noei is in her room getting prepped, and it's time for their wedding day, and Steve is in his room, honey, happy for the free room and board. I'm like, Steve, make sure you get you a good nap, child, because there ain't no telling when the next time you're going to lay in a bed. So him and the guys are sharing a toast. Noei is getting all prettified over on the other side, and Noei is telling her mom, all the qualities that she asked for in a man, and her mom said, well, just remember that nobody's perfect. I know that's right, mama. That's some good advice, child. So she tells her mom, that she waited so she could have what her parents have. Mama was like, well, there was some good and bad times. You know what? I never aspired to have someone else's relationship because all that glitters is not gold. That's just a proverb for you, Noei. Moving forward. So Steve is getting a haircut. It's probably free, child. And he tells us for the 70th time that his grandparents had an arranged marriage. Steve, We know you slept in a van for 4 months out in the wilderness. And we also know that your grandparents had an arranged marriage. I don't want to hear about it, not no more. Thank you. Over on the other side, her friends are like, well, when is he going to meet Noisy? Child, I hope Noisy leave them synthetic wigs at the house. Moving forward. So she starts getting emotional because she was doing the whole 90-day fiance thing, but that didn't work. And now she's getting married at first sight. Child, she flying by the seat of her pants as well. And Steve said, I asked for someone loving and caring, and I hope she's as adventurous as me. Translation, I hope she's willing to sleep in the car after the shared apartment. Child, this is a mess. So Noey is starting to freak out just a little bit, honey, as you should. This is completely normal. If you don't freak out, then, child, you'll do any old thing. So her friend is like, are those happy tears? Noey said, I don't know. So Steve got his fresh cut and he ready to go. And he actually cleaned up really nice. Noey is on her way and she fears that she's going to get her heart broken. Child, you'll be fine. He need a place to stay, sweetheart. You're going to be okay. Moving forward. Steve takes his place at the altar and he tells us, discussing everything with someone is going to be a huge change because he's used to just making decisions on his own. You're also going to have to discuss with her where you are between the hours of 8 to 5 because you're going to need some employment. Moving forward. So then Dad meets Noey behind the screen to walk her down the aisle and they ask everyone to please stand. Next time on Married at First Sight. Child, and that was the end of the episode. Let's get to it. Let's get into it if we're going to get into it. I'm ready to get to the honeymoons and see next episode why Alyssa is walking away. Like, what is happening? Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. Did you actually watch this episode? It felt a little flat. Like the weddings didn't even give the zhuzh they were supposed to give. Katina was looking like Olajuwon. She was confused. Jasmina was completely taken aback and he don't watch TV, honey. I know that's right, y'all. I'm like, oh, honey, you don't watch TV. It's a no for me, dog. It's going to be a no for me, big dog. But honey, that's just me. Comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Join me for our Married at First Sight Live. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.